Good morning. Welcome to a new session of video class. In this video class, we will discuss about three important properties of the central forces. Already we know that central force is a centric force, a force that is always acting towards a fixed point or away from a fixed point, and whose magnitude is a function of the distance of separation of that body to the point where it is acting. And we know that in nature and in the universe, okay, central force is the dominant force, or central force is the prime force that is responsible for the definition, maintenance, development, and control of so many natural and constituent systems of the nature as well as the universe. Right. It is having so many properties. We discussed all those things in our previous class. Now, in this particular class, okay, we will see or we will discuss about various properties, proof for the various properties, or discussion of various properties. One such property is central force, the relation between central force and potential energy. Okay, potential energy is a scalar quantity, central force is a vector quantity. Here, the relation between these two is, or what we have to prove, or what is the property of central force is the negative gradient of potential energy. Negative gradient of potential energy. Just now I said that potential energy is scalar quantity, whereas central force is a vector quantity. It means that as for the property, it shows that the central force is the negative gradient of potential energy. It means that when there is a potential field where the central force is acting on a body, in that potential field, the potential energy changes from one point to other point gradually in a particular direction. Change means it may increase or it may decrease. If some scalar physical quantity changes gradually in a particular direction, that is what is known as gradient. That is the meaning for gradient. Meaning for gradient. Therefore, the central force is always acting in a direction, in the direction of, not in a direction, in the direction of variation of potential energy. Therefore, central force is the negative gradient of potential energy. Negative here it means that, okay, if it is central force is an attractive force is also always a negative quantity when okay, with reference to the potential energy. That is the meaning of this particular topic. I hope you will understand. Central force is a vector quantity which is acting in the direction of gradient of a potential energy. It means that it acts in the direction of variation of potential energy. Gradient means gradual variation of potential energy. Variation means it may increase or it may decrease. That is the prime property of the central force, and we have to prove that central force F bar x is equal to minus grad U. Here U is the potential energy, or on the other hand del bar dot U bar. Negative gradient of potential energy means that del bar dot U, not U bar, U is the scalar quantity, therefore del bar dot U. Okay, del is a scalar quantity, U is a scalar quantity. In between these two, del is a vector quantity. This vector quantity is acting on varying potential energy. Potential energy is a scalar quantity, but varying potential energy is a vector quantity. Therefore, it is the dot product between these two vectors. Okay, what vector? Gradient vector and varying potential energy vector. Potential energy is a scalar, but varying potential energy or gradient of potential energy is a vector quantity. Therefore, we have to show that central force Fx is equal to negative grade of u or del bar dot u bar. Here u bar is the gradient of potential energy. Therefore, it is a vector. The ordinary potential energy is a scalar. Okay, right. Here, for the convenience of the understanding of the students, I will upload the material in which we can explain it very easily for the preparation of the students. Okay, right. Let us consider a conservative force or the central force. Every central force is a conservative force. Therefore, now the topic we have to show that the central force is a negative gradient of potential energy, or we have to show that conservative force is a negative gradient of potential energy. Okay, both are one and the same because every central force is a conservative force. Therefore, to take a conservative force or on the other hand central force, which is F bar, let it is acting on a particle and okay, due to the action of this central force, let the particle moves from R0 to R0 of coordinates x0, y0, z0 to another point R, another position R, x, y, z. Right. Now the work done to displace this particle from the initial point to the final point is negative integral of R0 to R F bar dot dr bar. That is the standard formula for the work done. Work done is the dot product between the force vector and the displacement vector, but the displacement is continuous displacement. Therefore, we have to take the integration within the limits of the initial point to the final point. And here negative sign indicates the work done is against force. Okay, right. Now, therefore, the work done on the force, work done by the force will be stored in the form of potential energy. Therefore, potential energy, which is represented with the letter U, or it is nothing but work done. Therefore, it is negative integral of R0 to R F bar dot dr. Right. Let us go for F bar dot dr bar. What is F bar? Fxi, I cap Fx plus j cap Fy plus k cap Fz is a vector F bar. Similarly, dr bar means I cap dx plus j cap dy plus k cap dz. If you take the dot product between these two, a bar dot b bar is equal to a1 b1 plus a2 b2 plus a3 b3. Therefore, fx dx plus fy dy plus fz dz. Okay, right. Now the potential energy Pe ur is equal to negative integral of R0 to R, fx dx, fy dy plus fz dz. Right. It can be split up into three terms. First term, x term, y term, and z term here. This integral, the RHS is divided into three terms separately. Right. Now, let us differentiate this equation first with respect to x, next with respect to y, and then with respect to z. Okay, do you understand? Differentiate this equation first with respect to x, y, and z. When once it is differentiated with respect to x, so dou u by dou x is equal to, as it is differentiating with respect to x, so y term and z term becomes 0. Differentiation is an opposite process for integration or inverse process for integration. Therefore, differentiation and integration will nullify and you will get only negative symbol here and fx here. Okay. What is differentiation here? Differential R0 to R dx. that will be cancelled by dou x. Okay, right. Therefore, what will remain? You will get to minus fx. Similarly, when once it is differentiated with respect to y, you will get to dou u by dou y is equal to minus fy. And when once it is differentiated with respect to z, dou u by dou z is equal to minus fz. Okay, right. Now we will go for the vector f bar. F bar is equal to I cap fx plus j cap fy plus k cap fz, we know. Therefore, f bar is equal to minus, what is fx? Fx is equal to minus dou u by dou x. Okay, right. Therefore, minus I cap, instead of fx we will substitute dou u by dou x, including minus. Similarly, minus j cap dou u by dou y, minus k cap dou u by dou z. When once fx value, fy value, fz value from these things are substituted here. Right. When this will be rewritten as negative value of I cap dou by dou x, j cap dou by dou y plus k cap dou by dou z of u. This is nothing but del or gradient. Therefore, f bar is equal to minus grad u, or f bar is equal to minus del bar dot u bar. Gradient means del bar dot u bar. Okay, right. This is what is known as the property, very important property, that is the central force or the conservative force is the negative gradient of potential energy. Negative gradient of potential energy. Okay, gradient means del of u. Okay, right. This is about what is this one, the property of one of the property of the central force. Right. Let us go for the next property. That is, we have to show that curl of a central force is 0. Curling means bending effect, rotating effect. What is a central force? It is a force that is always acting in a particular direction. Just now we observed that the central force is the gradient of potential energy. Gradient means variation of a scalar in a particular direction. Therefore, even though field is a scalar field, its variation has a certain direction. Therefore, the central force always acts in the direction of variation of this potential energy or this scalar quantity. Therefore, it obviously says that no turning effect, no curving effect is not possible for central force. Therefore, curl of conservative force or central force becomes 0. That is a simple explanation for this one. Not always the mathematical force. We should have a strong physical background, strong the physical meaning. Conservative force is the gradient of a scalar quantity. Gradient means variation of a scalar quantity in a particular direction. Therefore, force, the central force always acts in the direction of variation of a scalar quantity. Therefore, it is a directional physical quantity. Therefore, it is never experience the curling effect. Curling effect means the turning effect or the rotating effect. Therefore, the curl of central force is 0. In order to prove that one, just now we know that f bar is equal to minus del u. Curl f means curl f bar is equal to del bar cross f bar. Del bar cross f bar means del bar cross minus del bar u minus del bar u. Right. Therefore, curl f is equal to minus value is as usually minus, so we can ignore here minus for the proof of this one. Okay, right? Okay, it is the determinant of what should be the first row, I cap, j cap, k cap. Second row is the this vector is dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou z, z, z. Third row is this vector. This vector means dou u by dou x, dou u by dou y, dou u by dou z. Okay, right. After expansion, each component, okay, there are three terms will be there. The first term is I cap into matrix of 2 by 2 matrix of this one, 2 by 2 matrix of I cap of this one. Therefore, I cap of 2 by 2 matrix of this one means dou by dou y, dou by dou z, dou u by dou y, dou u by dou z. Therefore, I cap into, okay, dou square by dou y dou z, dou square by dou y dou z minus of dou square by dou z dou y, dou y. Here, dou square by dou y dou z and dou square by dou y dou z, they are one and the same. Just first it is differentiated with respect to y and then z. Here differentiated with respect to z and y, they are one and the same. That's why I changed this one. Therefore, these two terms are one and the same. Therefore, you will get 0 here. 0 into I cap is equal to 0. Similarly, the second term, j cap, that also becomes 0. Third is the term, k cap into this vector, this the determinant of this 2 by 2, that also becomes 0. Therefore, everything is 0. Therefore, curl f bar is equal to del bar cross f bar. It is nothing but 0. It means that it is a null vector. Curl f bar is a null vector. What it says, curl f bar is equal to null vector. That is the curl of a central force or a curl of a conservative force to 0 means central forces or conservative forces are not experiencing the bending effect or the rotating effect or the curving effect, right? This is about what this one, what is this one? The curl of central force is 0. Curl of negative force, curl of the what is this one? Central force or curl of the conservative force is 0. Okay, right. In the PPT also it is shown here, but for the convenience of the students, okay, I scroll down the material pages. Okay, that's why you will get to what this one, the curl of the central force, or this one is 0. Right. Now we will go for another important property of what is this one? No. We will go for another important topic in the central forces. That is equation of motion of central force. Equation of motion of central force. Right? Equation of motion of central force. Very important topic. Equation of motion of central force. Right. Equation of motion of central force. What it means? In our earlier studies, when a body is moving with constant velocity v, what is its equation of motion? Distance is equal to velocity into time. That is the basic equation of motion of a body which is moving with a constant velocity. In the next stage, when a body is moving with constant acceleration, in that state, okay, it has three equations of motion. One is S is equal to ut plus half at square, v is equal to u plus at, okay. The third one is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Okay, those three are the equation of motion of a body when it is moving with constant acceleration. Why I am referring all those things is, here also under the action of central force, okay, there is an equation of motion for a body or for a particle. Therefore, equation of motion of a particle under central force is nothing but, or it is as simple as the other equations of motions of particles. Okay, that is the only difference. But we should not okay, okay, think much about this one. This is nothing but simple equation of motion of a body under the central force. Now again I will upload the this one, the material for your clear understanding of derivation. Okay, right. This is equation of for the equation of motion of a body under central force. Okay, right. Just now I said that every particle or every body moves by following certain equation of motion, or there is some equation of motion which governs the motion of a particle moving under central force. Right. Let the particle is here. It is moving in this curved path under the action of a central force towards this point. This is the radius vector r bar. Okay. The direction r cap. This is the direction of the displacement, angular displacement, angular displacement. Therefore, in this direction, the unit vector is theta cap, and in this direction, the unit vector is r cap. This is the direction of action of the central force. What this one? This is the direction of action of the central force. The coordinates of the particle at this position is p r theta. R is nothing but the magnitude of this radius vector. Theta is the angle made by this radius vector with the initial position. And I said just now, r cap is a unit vector along r bar, and theta cap is a unit vector along the angular displacement of the body. Right. Equation of motion means under the action of some force means F is equal to ma. Okay, when some force is acting on a particle or a body, what is this equation of motion? The basic form is F is equal to ma, mass into acceleration. Bus. Okay, right. Now, when a particle if a particle moves in a curved path under the action of a force, it has two types of accelerations. When a particle moves in a curved path or in a circular path, it has two types of acceleration. One is the radial acceleration acting along the radius vector. The other one is the transverse acceleration, which is acting in a direction perpendicular to the the curved path at this position. Therefore, it is having two accelerations. One is the radial acceleration acting along the radius vector towards the center. The other one is the transverse acceleration or the perpendicular acceleration that acts in a direction perpendicular to the curved path of the or tangential to the curved path of the body. Therefore, it is having two accelerations. We know the expression for these accelerations already we know in the radial motions. AR is equal to d square r by dt square. This is radial acceleration. Radial acceleration AR is equal to d square r by dt square minus r into d theta by dt whole square. This is the radial acceleration. And the transverse acceleration or the tangential acceleration AT is equal to 1 by r into d by dt of r square d theta by dt. These two we already derived in our previous classes and previous stages. That's why they are directly selected here. This is the transverse acceleration. This is the radial acceleration. Now, as in case of central force, as the particle, as the force is acting radially, therefore it is having only radial acceleration, but not the transverse acceleration. Why? Because here the force is acting radially towards the center point. Therefore, it is only having radial acceleration. The transverse acceleration, it is a perpendicular to the direction of action of the force. Therefore, it is zero. Therefore, in case of central force, no acceleration in a direction perpendicular to r bar or the action of central force. Therefore, transverse acceleration is 0. Transverse acceleration 0 means at is equal to 1 by r d by dt, r square d theta by dt is equal to 0. It means that r square d theta by dt is equal to, okay, this will go here, this will 0. Differentiation of something d0 means that something is a constant. It means that r square d theta by dt is a constant. Therefore, let that constant is h. Then you will get d theta by dt is equal to h by r square. Let this is equation number 1. This will be obtained by transverse acceleration. Here in this motion, transverse acceleration is 0. When transverse acceleration is equated to 0, you will get r square d theta by dt is equal to constant. Okay, from this one, this constant is symbolized as h. Therefore, you will get d theta by dt is equal to h by r square. Right? Okay. Then previously I said that equation of motion means F is equal to ma. That is equal to F is equal to m into what is a? This radial acceleration. Because transverse acceleration is 0. Therefore, in the place you will get this acceleration. Okay, what are the two terms here? D theta by dt. Just now you got d theta by dt is equal to h by r square. And we need d square r by dt square. Okay, if these two things are known to us, then you will get automatically the equation of motion of a body under the action of central force. Okay, right. In order to get the value of this d square r by dt square, consider u is equal to 1 by r. Okay, u is equal to 1 by r. What is u? What is r? It is the radius vector. It is the magnitude of the radius vector here. Okay, we will take the reciprocal. For the convenience of mathematical manipulations, all these things are only for the convenience of mathematical manipulations or mathematical steps. Okay, that's why u is equal to 1 by r. Therefore, r is equal to 1 by u. Right. Just now I said that F is, what is the equation of motion? F is equal to ma. Here Fr is equal to minus mar. Minus here it indicates negative sign indicates that the attractive force. Okay, ar means radial acceleration. Then the force is also radial. This is it is not so important to think. Okay, very common. Okay, right. Therefore, we need ar value. In the ar value, already d theta by dt is h by r square. Therefore, we need d square r by dt square. For that one, we substitute u is equal to 1 by r. Therefore, r is equal to 1 by u. Right. Okay. On differentiating, if you differentiate r is equal to 1 by u, dr by d theta dt is equal to differentiation of 1 by u means u to the power of minus 1. U to the power of minus 1 means minus 1 by u square du by d theta. This value minus 1 by u square into du by d theta is now converted into du by d theta and d theta by dt. Here du by dt is simply written as du by d theta and d theta by dt. The d theta will cancel and you will get your own du by dt. Therefore, no problem. Okay, right. Now, 1 by u square means r square. Therefore, minus r square. D theta by dt is kept here and du by d theta is kept outside. Okay, right. But d theta by dt is equal to h by r square. Therefore, if you put h by r square here, r square will cancel and you will get h here. Therefore, now this will simply becomes minus h into du by d theta. Okay, right. Again, on differentiating with respect to time, you will get d square r by d theta square is equal to differentiation, that is d by d theta of what? Of this one. Therefore, minus h. Okay. This du by d theta is kept outside d by d theta. and du by d theta and d theta by dt. Be careful. Okay, right? D by d theta minus h du by d theta minus h. Okay, your du by d theta is here also. Okay, d by d theta, this will be written as d by dt, sorry, d by dt. Now it will be written as d by d theta into d theta by dt. This d theta and this d theta will cancel and you will get d by dt as usually. Okay, right. This is all these things are the mathematical manipulation for the convenience. Right. Now d by d theta of du by d theta means d square u by d theta square, and you will get d theta by dt. But d theta by dt is h by r square. Okay, h by r square. Therefore, now it will becomes minus h square by r square. Therefore, d square r by d theta square dt square is equal to minus h by r square into d square u by d theta square. Okay, r as 1 by r square is equal to u square, you will get minus h square u square into d square u by d theta square. Very simple things when compared with the other derivations in other regions in your graduation level. These are very simple things. Okay, right. Now we have d square r by dt square, and we have what is this one, d theta by dt. Okay, we have the value of d theta by dt. D theta by dt is h by r square, and just now we have d square r by d square r by d theta square. Therefore, if you substitute, okay, the value d square r by d theta square and d theta by dt in the formula, Fr is equal to minus MAR. AR means d square r by d theta square minus r into d theta by dt square. Therefore, minus m into, okay, d square r by d theta square is just now we arrived, that is minus h square u square d square u by d theta square. This one, okay, minus r into, okay, minus r into d theta by dt means, okay, d theta by dt means h by r square. Its square means h square by r to the power of 4. Now minus m left alone. Okay, no change. Minus h square u square d square u by d theta square, no change. Okay, r will be in r to the power of 4. It will cancel r cube times 1 by r cube is equal to u cube in the numerator. Therefore, minus u cube h square. Right. On multiplying with minus negative, okay, all these terms will becomes positive. Now f is equal to m into h square u square into d square u by d theta square plus h square u cube. Okay. Now when m is taken to the other side, force by mass, that is force per unit mass, is nothing but the momentum, or it is simply the force per unit mass. Okay, force per unit mass, sorry, not momentum, force per unit mass is the acceleration. Okay, right. Here force per unit mass P is equal to, okay, P is equal to, therefore P is equal to, what is the remaining quantity, h square u square plus d square u by d theta square plus h square u cube. Okay, this is the equation of motion of a particle under central force. Further, for its better appearance, for the convenience, okay, the equation is multiplied throughout with h square u square, divided, it is divided with h square u square. Then, okay, h square divided with h square u square means you will get d square u by d theta square here. When divided with h square u square, you will get u here is equal to p by h square u square. Therefore, the ultimate form or the final form of the equation of motion of a particle under the action of central force is d square u by d theta square plus u is equal to p by h square u square. Okay, but what are these terms? What is u? It is a reciprocal of radius vector. For the convenience of the mathematical derivation and the convenience of final appearance of this equation, we selected 1 by r is equal to u. Please remember that one. That's why I repeated this one. What is u? The reciprocal of the radius vector, the radius value, the radius vector value. What is p? Force per unit mass here. What is h? Is a constant. What is its value? d theta by dt. Okay, d theta by what is h here? Okay. This one, what is h here? R square d theta by dt. What is h value? R square d theta by dt. Right? Okay. Okay. I have to change what is h r square d theta by dt, and of course again u square. This is the differential equation form or differential equation of the equation of motion of a particle under central force. Equation of motion of a particle means the equation of the path followed by the particle under the action of central force. It means that this is the equation for the path followed by or for the distance, path of the distance followed by the particle under the action of central force. Okay, this is the ultimate form. Okay, right. See you in the next class.